My friends, every now and then the world pauses to notice something extraordinary. Not a weapon, not a battle, not a conquest of territory, but the power of human minds, of human will, of human innovation. Today, what we are witnessing is not a story of fear, it is a story of influence. It is the story of how a people, once overlooked, are now shaping the future of technology, of business, of possibility itself. There is a reason nations watch closely when certain voices rise, when certain communities step into the light. It is because knowledge cannot be contained, creativity cannot be silenced, and excellence cannot be ignored. The rise of talent, the rise of determination, the rise of a vision that refuses to be small, these are the forces that are redefining what power means in the 21st century. And let's be clear, this isn't about competition in the old sense of the word. This is about the courage to dream bigger than your circumstance. Fear is often misunderstood as something purely negative, as something meant to hold us back, to keep us small, to silence us in the face of challenge. But there is another side to fear, a truth that is rarely spoken about. It is often respect in disguise. When someone fears you, it means they recognize the potential you carry. They acknowledge the strength you represent, and they cannot ignore the influence you bring into the room. Fear is not just about being threatened. It is about being noticed, about commanding attention, about reminding the world that you have arrived and you cannot be dismissed. Throughout history, individuals and nations who have risen beyond expectations have always stirred fear in the hearts of those who once underestimated them. The moment you break free from the labels that were placed upon you, the moment you outgrow the limitations designed to confine you, you shift from being invisible to being impossible to ignore. And when that happens, fear is the natural response from those who realize that the ground beneath them is shifting. They may try to downplay your success, they may try to discredit your work, or they may try to contain your growth, but the fact that they even attempt to do so is proof of your impact. Fear signals that you are disrupting the order of things, that you are forcing others to adapt, that you are no longer playing within the boundaries they set for you. It is not a sign of weakness, it is evidence of influence. And influence, once gained, cannot easily be taken away. Fear, then, becomes a mirror reflecting the magnitude of your presence, reminding you that your journey, your effort, and your vision have begun to shape the narrative in ways others never expected. Knowledge is the great equalizer, the force that levels the playing field in a world often divided by privilege, power, and opportunity. It does not ask where you were born, what language you speak, or what status your family holds. It responds only to curiosity, discipline, and the hunger to learn. In the pursuit of knowledge, there are no boundaries too strong, no barriers too tall, and no ceilings too high. What once belonged to a privileged few now belongs to anyone willing to dedicate themselves to growth, to study, to refinement. This is why knowledge transforms lives. It equips ordinary individuals with extraordinary tools, enabling them to rise in spaces where they were once ignored or underestimated. When you hold knowledge, you carry with you the ability to sit at tables you were never invited to influence conversations that once excluded you, and to design solutions for problems others declared unsolvable. It is not wealth, it is not birthright, it is not luck. It is the power of understanding applied with consistency and courage. And when knowledge meets determination, something remarkable happens. Limits dissolve, possibilities expand, and whole industries are reshaped. Knowledge is not just about information, it is about transformation. It sharpens the mind, strengthens the voice, and widens the vision. With it, a single individual can challenge systems, disrupt traditions, and redefine what progress looks like. This is why the world takes notice when knowledge is applied boldly, because it cannot be denied or contained. It commands respect, even from those who once sought to diminish it, and it builds bridges where none existed before. In the hands of pride, the relentless learner, knowledge is the most powerful tool for rewriting the story of what is possible. Innovation has always proven that it cannot be confined to a single nation, culture, or boundary. It belongs to those who dare to imagine something different, those who refuse to settle for what already exists, and those who see beyond the obvious into what could be. Innovation has no borders, because creativity is born out of human spirit, not geography. It flows wherever there is no curiosity, wherever there is determination. Wherever people are willing to challenge the ordinary and step into the unknown. The world has witnessed this truth time and time again. Some of the most groundbreaking ideas have come from unexpected corners, from individuals who had little more than a vision and the courage to pursue it. Innovation thrives in environments where people are hungry to solve problems, where necessity becomes the mother of invention, and where limitations spark resourcefulness rather than despair. And when innovation takes shape, it travels far beyond its birthplace. It does not remain confined to the soil where it was born. It spreads, it influences, it changes how people everywhere live, work, and connect. That is why innovation is such a powerful force, because it ignores borders, it dismisses divisions, and it proves that brilliance can emerge from anyone, anywhere. In a world often preoccupied with competition, innovation shows that the true measure of progress is not about who owns an idea, but about how far it can reach, how many lives it can impact, how deeply it can transform the way humanity moves forward. And in this global exchange of ideas, those who lead with creativity and determination set the pace for everyone else, shaping the direction of industries, redefining possibilities, and challenging even the most established powers to adapt or fall behind. Strength does not always come from size, wealth, or military might. True strength is revealed in the ability to stand tall when the odds are stacked against you, to hold firm to your principles when others try to sway you, and to find resilience in the face of challenges that would break most. It is not about the loudest voice in the room, but about the calm, steady conviction that refuses to bend under pressure. Strength is the quiet confidence that says, we will not be defined by others. We will define ourselves. It is the power to endure setbacks, to learn from them, and to rise stronger than before. History has shown that those who carry this kind of strength rooted in resilience, patience, and determination, are the ones who shape the course of events, even when others doubt them. Real strength is not about dominating others, but about standing unshaken when others expect you to falter. It is about knowing who you are, what you stand for, and why you refuse to be moved. This kind of strength creates a ripple effect. It inspires respect, it commands attention, and it forces even the most powerful adversaries to acknowledge it. It is not the strength of aggression, but of endurance. Not the strength of intimidation, but of integrity. When individuals or nations carry themselves with this unbreakable resolve, they show the world that strength is not measured by what you can take from others, but by what you can withstand, what you can overcome, and what you can build even in the face of adversity. And in demonstrating this kind of strength, they prove that resilience can be more formidable than force, that conviction can be more powerful than fear, and that resolve, once awakened, is impossible to suppress. Respect is never handed out freely. It is earned through consistency, integrity, and the courage to stand for what you believe in. It cannot be demanded, it cannot be forced, and it cannot be bought. The world respects those who live with authenticity, those who align their actions with their words, and those who prove through time and effort that their values are not negotiable. When individuals or nations demonstrate this kind of character, others have no choice but to take notice. Respect grows not from temporary victories, but from enduring principles that stand strong in every circumstance. It is built when promises are kept, when commitments are honored, and when challenges are met with steady resolve. Respect deepens when people see that failure does not break you, that criticism does not silence you, and that opposition does not cause you to compromise who you are. This kind of respect has a weight to it, a power that transcends position, wealth, or influence, because it touches something universal in every human being, the recognition of strength rooted in integrity. Those who earn respect do not chase validation from others. Instead, they set a standard that others aspire to reach. They do not measure themselves by the applause of the moment, but by the lasting impact of their actions. And in doing so, they remind the world that respect is not about fear or dominance, but about admiration born from consistency, dignity, and unshakable principle. In every field of life, whether it is leadership, innovation, diplomacy, or personal growth, the ones who rise above are those who understand that true respect comes only when you prove yourself not just once, but again and again, through the way you live, the way you serve, and the way you remain steadfast, no matter the cost. The future has always belonged to those willing to see beyond the present moment, to imagine a reality greater than the one they stand in today, and to take risks when others cling to comfort. It is the bold who step forward when the path is uncertain, who dare to act when the outcome is not guaranteed, and who refuse to be confined by the doubts of the crowd. The future is not written by those who play it safe, but by those who challenge assumptions, question limitations, and envision possibilities others are too afraid to consider. Boldness is not recklessness. It is the marriage of courage and vision, the strength to pursue a dream with clarity and determination, even when the world insists it cannot be done. Every breakthrough in history has come from someone who chose to step into the unknown, who defied the odds, and who pushed past the barriers of fear and resistance. The bold are the ones who create movements, who inspire generations, who shift the balance of power, not because they had certainty, but because they had conviction. They understand that progress is never comfortable, that transformation demands sacrifice, and that building something lasting requires both imagination and resilience. The future bends toward those who walk with courage in their hearts and determination in their steps, because they carry within them the spark that turns ideas into action and action into history. It is the bold who redefine what is possible, who turn challenges into stepping stones, and who see opportunity where others only see obstacles. And it is this boldness that ensures that when the story of tomorrow is told, it will not be a story of hesitation and fear, but of vision, courage, and the relentless pursuit of a higher calling.